Hi everyone, welcome to Jesse's Stories. So today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a reaction video to a Facebook Live I did when I was a member of Twin Flames Universe. I think it was in 2019, since I was in Florida, talking about my books that I wrote that I did for Jeff and Shalia. Yeah, it's going to be very uncomfortable for me, but I think it will be educational and good for you guys to see. Thanks so much. Here we go. I'm gonna start playing it, actually. So it will be playing over here on the corner. You may or may not be able to hear it. See how this goes. This is my first time doing it. I'm a little scared, but first react video. I'll do some more too of past stuff and just telling some more of my story. Hopefully you guys are interested in that. It plays along with the cult stuff I have been doing on this channel. I will eventually do some stuff away from that because stories is literally everything. Attempting to avoid. I'll stop myself from doing that. Here we go.
So before I go straight into everything I explained, I'll go into, if you're at the LGBTQ Welcome Center in St. Petersburg.
Okay, first off, this is really hard for me to watch. I was exhausted. I still had my job at this time, working at an ice cream shop as a manager. I didn't have a car. I worked hard to attempt to build that bed on my own. It took my mom coming out to help me build that bed. Most things you see I did on my own, including traveling to the LGBTQ center in Florida. I was on my own in selling those books. Now, know that the poetry book there, I updated, took out stuff, and changed because that was some of my personal poetry in there. And Jeff and Shalia do not get any credit for that. So I remade it in 2020. You can purchase it on Amazon if you want. You don't have to. This is really hard for me. We're gonna continue. So that was personal. That was from my own personal life before joining the cults. I did write that. I was in college when I wrote it. I felt I needed to share part of what you learn when you are part of the community is sharing yourself. And I was one to have never shared my poetry. So there is good that came out of it, absolutely, but also taking advantage and exploiting me. So this is some exploitation happening of my poetry because I wasn't ready at all. I was ready when I left, finally. Then I was ready to share myself because I was genuinely sharing my authentic self. This is me sharing Jeff and Shalia's version of me. It's not easy seeing yourself because I was, honestly, so taken advantage of. So I don't know the correct terms, so coerced into believing them that I'm putting myself out there. And I was already in a not great state, and that's not me. I don't like wearing lots of makeup. This is me. I don't, eyes, that's all you get. Maybe someday I'll get back to more makeup, but not really into that. Okay, thank you for bearing with me. If you've made it this far, you guys rock. And thanks for listening to some of my story and some of this hard trauma I'm watching a little of, and I will continue. Here we go. Not even 2 minutes through it. This is a 26-minute, 1-second video. So let's see how far. I'm not gonna make myself get through the entire thing. I don't think you want to see the entire thing either, so I'll do my best. Here we go.
These are constructed lies society told us to tie, the bonds of racism tighter with to make each fighter from within rise to the occasion of equality between people that are part of the human race, because human, we are laced with flaws that can lead to applause or tragedy. But we are one in this mortal plane of existence. We must see black and white as ordinary colors. So even in this, because a lot of my older poems, oh, hey, Deb. A lot of my older poems actually go to separation consciousness, which even going into my sexuality, I'll go into that too. But right now I'm going as I'm called to, and as I'm guided. So within that, that was me seeing myself separate from society, separate, not as one, like my company, Oneness Love. I was seeing everyone as separate, and that whole shooting was sad and tragic and due to separation. So I was really just seeing myself as separate in there.
Okay. And now I'm teaching, Jeff and Shalia is teaching in this part, which is disgusting. Because you're taught separation consciousness. It's when you're not one with yourself and so on. I was explaining it in this. It's literally just word salad. It has no meaning. It's me trying to make sense. Honestly, my brain is trying to be logical thinking right here. At the same time, I'm fighting it. and not, and trying to figure out which part of me is here. I can see the struggle in myself and how nervous I am too. It's kind of heartbreaking and hard. Yeah, again, we'll see how far I can get through this. Right now, I'm super uncomfortable. It might not look like it. Of course, I'll smile through it. It's really hard not to break down crying right now. Yeah, here we go. But I want you guys to be educated too. I want you to see the clear difference between me now. I can think logically. I can think for myself. I have autonomy back. Versus then, I did not have autonomy or thinking for myself. That didn't exist. That was gone. That's how heartbreaking this is, and also why it's hard, and all the trauma that you're not seeing behind the scenes in just this Facebook Live / IG, because I guess I was live on Instagram at the same time to advertise these books, including a children's series, which thankfully none of those are available to buy and ever will be. I unpublished them the day I left in 2020, so you cannot purchase them. I'll describe more about it when I'm able to in my memoir. But for now, you just get to see some of this. And why I sound a little offended is because it hurt. And all I'm doing is advertising Jeff and Shalia, technically. This has nothing to do with me. None of this has anything to do with me. It doesn't have to do with separation consciousness either. That's a lot. But let's continue, in my personal opinion.
So that actually goes into creative workshop. Because I told you guys I'm going to go more in depth to all my services so you get a better idea, since I realized I've only gone like surface level on each of it. So for creative level, the creative workshop we're going to focus on, and I'll go up gradually. So creative workshop for DJs, singers, but I'm going to focus more on the DJs, producers, because I feel more called to you guys right now. But singers and anyone else, if you guys feel called, doesn't matter what the creative activity is, painting, not activity, life purpose.
Okay, so then this is the little funnel that Jeff has us do. So our own business, which now I'm turning it into an actual business, not anything like it was then. That was just a funnel for Jeff. So as I'm talking, all I'm doing is funneling. So anytime I talk about my business and this, that business isn't even a full-blown business. And all I'm doing is advertising for Jeff, because when you have your own individualized business, you funnel Twin Flame, Ascension School, and Life Purpose class. I mainly did Life Purpose class. You sell that mainly in your own business because you are literally a funnel to Jeff and Shalia's stuff, which isn't even their actual work, was whoever their priest person was that they discredit often, and just other people you can read books of that were written far before they ever wrote their first book. So they're just copycats of other people. So you're paying for stuff you could actually get for free. I learned that when I first left Twin Flames Universe. I saw a lot of free stuff that I was like, oh my God, I paid money for this. I mean, oh my gosh, I paid money for this. I paid money for that. And I could have gotten it for free. It's like a whole new world when you leave a cult. Let's watch me further sell Jeff and Shalia crap.
Doesn't matter what it is, the workshop is for you. And there'll be 30 spots on Zoom for each class. And they're continuous, and it's a commitment to yourself. But for example, we would go through, like, I had blocks on being seen and thinking that people would judge me for having myself on the cover of this. So this is my story.
Blocks for being seen. That was a common one for myself within the Twin Flames universe when I was there. Blocks to being seen, which is total BS, honestly. It wasn't a block. It was never existence in the first place. It was just them wanting you to advertise more for them. So you needed to be seen more anyways. I'm just trying to break it down logically instead of word salady, which word salady would be what Jeff uses a lot when he can't explain stuff. And Shalia too, in my personal opinion and my life experience with them, which you cannot take away from me if you guys do end up watching it with your fellow followers that are going through a lot of the same stuff I did too. So hopefully this also helps them too, if they're watching, which is always a possibility. It is YouTube. Yeah, okay, we're gonna finish the rest of my spiel since we're only 18 minutes, 14 seconds in, and then I'm gonna have to end this video because it's not easy for me at all. And it's bringing up a lot for me personally, but I want to finish through at least some of this. And the editing process of this shall be interesting. All right, here we go. We're going to continue. Let's listen to my blocks to being seen and me going more in depth to advertising Jeff and Shalia.
I know a lot of you DJ producer wise struggle with putting yourself out there because you're worried of being judged. That's just a misalignment in love, a block in love and loving yourself. And in a group setting, we could definitely work through that.
Oh, thanks, past self, for telling me about being misaligned in love. That, again, is just Jeff and Shalia's teaching. That isn't true. It's BS. Doesn't mean you're misaligned in any way or sense or form, because love is love, period. There isn't a specific way to love, a specific anything. And Jeff and Shalia have it specified as misalignment if it doesn't align to their teachings, to what they show you what love is, which isn't. I'd say if you want to learn what love is, learn from a therapist, a licensed therapist that does like couple therapy or has statistics based off of it, just to have a healthy point of view of what a relationship is. Jeff and Shalia, in my personal opinion, I don't know the full off-camera relationship, but to me personally, it seems abusive because they teach abuse within Twin Flames universe, in my personal opinion and personal experience. Okay, let's finish the advertising.
Using the mirror exercise, like I told you guys, because I know you're new to this, I would walk through it step by step with you, and you would have to trust me. So that means you'd have to trust yourself. So using that example creatively, I thought I'd be judged. And I wasn't, actually, because I worked through the block. I worked through that misalignment.
I was still judged. Judgment is human nature. I definitely had I didn't have as many hate because I was just for the first time ever choosing to share my poetry because I was coerced and pushed into doing so. I don't have the proof of that, so I'm just going to put that out there. But when I saw them in person in New York City, I did credit them for the poetry book, but they don't get any credit. I wrote that, me. Something my mom's always told me. This was you, not them, you. And I hold that in my heart always. So there's always judgment. No matter what, there are actual genuine human beings out there that will not have judgments. But for the most part, human nature is judgment. So there will be judgment in anything you write, just like anything you post, anything you do, anything that's public. You will have both negative and positive. So listening to myself say this, I don't sound logical at all because I don't have my autonomy, so I don't have my free will. I don't have any free thought. This is just pure advertising for Jeff and Shalia. And I think I'm being vulnerable, which I am. There are some true stories within here, this live that I did, as there always is. But I wasn't ready, so I'm extremely nervous, and you can see me looking all around the camera, not directly at it like I am right now. Here we go.
Within myself, in love. I was worried about my twin seeing me doing this with all these books and being judged. So ultimately being judged, Dan, by myself. That's a common...
Clearing throat. I clearly needed water and wasn't getting myself water. That's not very loving. Yeah.
And even musically or anything, it's really good to get over that hump because then you can...
I haven't gotten fully out of that even when filming live. I can do it sometimes in my interviews. I'm good at catching myself. Caught myself a few times so far in here, but I'd rather stay genuine. Here we go.
Really, really let just your talent, your gift flow easier. Your creative process flow easier. Inspiration comes.
All right, basics of writer's block, which I had figured out the flow of that long before Twin Flames Universe, yet I'm crediting them here. For me personally, I write when I'm able to, when it's just flowing easily. So that means it's just coming easy. I can just type, which most of the time all I have to do is just start typing for that to happen. I don't need to go for a walk. If it's really touchy subjects like my memoir, I do have to give myself breathing room and not write right away. That's what I've been doing for my memoir. So I'm not pushing it. I'm not forcing it. I'm letting it be. When it's stories, I can have it flow pretty easily. All I have to do is literally start typing. That's the first step. And as soon as it stops flowing, I stop writing and get back to it when I'm able to again, or if I have time. I'm working on setting up times where I can just write and times where I can just film, because I do have passions for both and always have within a lot of areas. Like dreaming of doing a children's series. I still want to make that happen and I won't stop. No way. But I want to be honest and my true authentic self, period. And I feel I am. I feel I've made it to that point where I am fully just me. I have no problem calling myself out. I can misspell words. I do that sometimes. I type fast sometimes and misspell. My grammar and spelling isn't great. And now I'm going off on a rant, so I need to refocus. We're going back to this now.
Once you even get over being seen, not get over, but work through being seen, which is another common one creatively, which I can help with. We would actually go deep within that. And I would go where I'm called to in a group of 30 people, but we'd all be working through.
Word salad. I'm doing a word salad. Let's watch deeper in depth as I continue the word salad. This is groundbreaking work of a word salad. So it means saying something without actually saying anything at all. That's a word salad. For those who don't know what that is, it took me forever to learn that one. It still confuses me sometimes because I think of a literal salad. But back on to my word salad from the past.
And I'd take questions. It'd be an hour and 30 minutes. So like the 9 p.m. time, I think there was one, would go until 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So all classes are a while, an hour and 30. This workshop would be exactly that, and it's 2 times a day. Enrollment process will be fun because I will email you guys personally and we can talk, and we can even talk beforehand if you guys have questions. So to go into the next service, which would be group coaching. In group coaching, same idea, but in this sense, we're just covering all layers of anything. It can be sexuality, it can be having sex, it can be anything really. And we'll be working.
That makes me uncomfortable. Those are even topics. Some of them I don't have knowledge of. I'm not going to be specific on that, besides saying some of them I don't. Well, one I know pretty well, sexuality, because that's one I've worked through my entire life. And there isn't any blocks. It doesn't exist. Blocks are a lie. So when I hear the language, my language from the past is so important because that language is Jeff and Shalia's language. It's not my own language. My own language isn't that large, if I'm honest. It's not that vast. It's not that deep. If I like certain words, I will repeat them a lot. And I am getting tested for autism. So I do have to sometimes practice and repeat words in order to say them. I didn't practice any of this. I'm just doing it on the spot. But I do have words. I don't necessarily always have them. Sometimes I don't have any words, if I'm honest. So the fact I was doing this in the past, just copying off of Jeff and Shalia's words, only doing their words, says a lot because I even did word salads. So let's continue and see what happens next. It's getting a little easier getting through this right now, if I'm honest. Beginning was hard. Very, very hard.
It doesn't matter what it is. But with the creative workshop, it's only focused creatively. So we'll only focus on creative blocks, creative misalignments in love, in sharing your gift, in music, writing, which still falls under music, and anything. We'll focus on that.
I do believe in gifts. I absolutely believe in that. That wasn't taught by Jeff and Shalia. That's just taught in church or every day. That's something that's taught. Everyone has a gift or multiple gifts or hundreds of millions of gifts. Everyone has gifts. As in, everyone has potential. Everyone has the ability to be great or already great, whether they are well known in the public or not. Everyone has that ability. I believe strongly in that, in case you can't tell by the way I'm talking. Okay, and I really want to get through the rest of this video of me from the back. It is torturous, if I'm honest, but I'm going to keep on going. And again, leave below if there's like another reaction video you want me to do, because I would like to do some more reaction videos, if I'm honest. It can be cult related, it can be anything writing related, comedy related. That's the best part of Jesse's stories. Stories are everywhere. It can be gaming related. I'm gonna try to get back on Twitch and eventually just game in there too, but I can't do that yet. I don't have the system or computer for that yet, but I would like to in the future someday do that. Okay, and back to refocusing. As you can tell, my attention span isn't super great. Welcome to the real me.
And again, into the group coaching, that's also 30 people. Same idea, but focus is on anything and everything that comes up in the moment. And again, using the mirror exercise. And I'll walk through with you guys. Is it possible to have mediocre sex if you still have sexual blocks? If it's mediocre sex, that means you feel you're mediocre in some way or another. Elena? That's definitely something to mirror. But yes, we can work through those in a group session if you sign up for classes. And if you feel called, you felt called to this live video. So there's something there. A lot of you felt called so far.
That question, again, no experience. I'm just being honest. So it is kind of obvious I was uncomfortable with that question. Still would be absolutely uncomfortable with that question today. But I wouldn't reply of you need to mirror it. I would say go ask your mom or dad, or someone who would know about that. That's how I would have changed that today. But this is coerced against will me talking in the past there that we're watching on there or up there. You'll see it on the screen up there.
And even those who watch after this, even on IG, I'm still figuring out how to post stuff there. So if you can't find all the packagings and stuff, just go to my Facebook page. It's very obvious. You'll see the cover of this. And you'll see a little book thing with a bookmark. But yeah, we can definitely work through that too in our group sessions or even one-on-one.
I do like my outfit though. The necklace that burned in the Marshall fires. That outfit burned in the Marshall fires. But I do honestly like that outfit. I'd probably, if I still owned it, would wear it again. I did learn about style then. Because I do love my sweatshirts. So it is always going to be a part of my style is sweatshirts and jackets because I love those. But I did get to experiment more in style because I was divine feminine. before later in time, you guys know the divine masculine thing, which I'll go more in depth in my memoir and maybe a little more on this channel if you guys want me to, if I'm able to emotionally, because it does take a lot out of me. Just like this is taking a lot out of me. I'm gonna have to go for a walk after this. Okay, we are 22 minutes in out of 26 minutes of it. I will continue watching my coerced self.
So that's the next service. So group session, the focus is on everything. Creative workshop is only creative stuff. So for all those creative peeps out there. And one-on-one session, which I was just talking about with Elena, that is literally just one-on-one. So we continue working through every single thing that comes up continuously and pretty quickly. So upheaval, as in you're releasing all of that, is very likely to happen, and naps are very important.
Okay, so upheaval, going with Jeff Shalea's definition. Upheaval is pretty much everything in your reality. It could look extremely negative and horrible, but is being erased, gotten rid of, cleansing. It's like a cleansing is the best way I can describe it. Upheaval is a cleansing, and Jeff and Shalea have you nap block, that you're just supposed to rest through it, that you tend to be exhausted and tired, but honestly, you're exhausted and tired from working for them for free, constantly, nonstop, day and night. That's what upheaval is. I don't do a very good job in the past explaining it. For those, though, the only people watching that at that time in the past was just people on IG and on Facebook Live that were followers of Jeff and Shalea, and some of them were counted as my soul family.
Yeah, naps for all of these afterwards are important. So that's why I did for the classes closer to nighttime so you guys can sleep. If we do one-on-one sessions, if you're in the Florida area, we can do in person. If you're not in Florida, then we're doing it through Zoom. And classes are all through Zoom. And the quicker they fill, well, when they fill up, it's going to be really, really cool because the oneness and the power within there, even if you guys have no idea what's going on.
Welcome to me running out of words to say. Let's continue.
I don't know most of the time. I just trust and surrender to God.
Jeff and Shalea's teaching, so surrendering, so letting go of everything in your reality, letting go of everything within yourself. Just letting go is the key. So surrendering equals letting go. And yes, you can technically use that in everyday scenarios of letting go of things, but there's an extent of letting go that's realistic, and then there's an extent of letting go that isn't. I don't know the best way to explain that except to say that, yeah, we do surrender. Everyone does. Who you're surrendering to doesn't have to be God, doesn't have to be anything. It's just like, oh, I sent this email to this person. Yeah, then you gotta let go because you have no control on when they're going to reply back, if they're ever going to reply back. You wait. That's the reality. But you're taught in Twin Flames universe is first you mirror it, then you let it go, and then you'll get a reply. Then you'll get what you want. So control. Key is control. I don't explain it well there because I am literally running out of words and I'm exhausted and don't want to be doing it. That's why you can see me going, looking up like here, there, here. It's very uncomfortable for me. So I'm looking everywhere. It's so much easier for me now to look at the camera because I want to be looking at you guys. And when I look at the camera, I'm looking at you. Okay, we're going to get through this. I can do it.
Yeah, it's going to go just the way it's meant to go. And we'll heal where we're meant to heal at that time. And the fact that it's continuous is you guys are going to keep on leveling up as in upgrading in life. But again, for those in the creative workshop,
Okay, leveling up, Jeff and Shalea definition. So that means like the good has finally come in. So all that negative around you is gone. And I don't know, you get a paycheck from work, though that's really from God. You get I don't know, some random stranger gives you an apple on the street. That's from God. I'm just trying to come up with examples of leveling up. You're no longer exhausted and tired. You napped long enough. That's a level up. You got a promotion at work. That's a level up. It's another example. So leveling up is like the next chapter in your life. It's the next, as you heal with the mirror exercise. That's what they teach, which yes, leveling up exists, but not by doing the mirror exercise, not by gaslighting yourself. That's a lie. You level up just by working hard and doing your job. That is the reality of that. Don't play into their BS. Here we go.
Stuff to watch, things to practice. So whatever is healed during that session and that time period can continue even after it. And you don't have to rely on me because you're going to have to learn how to heal on your own too.
I am actually extremely independent. I don't open up to people easily because I've been taught not to. Twin Flames universe definitely help me not open up to people even more. Yeah. So me saying that is heartbreaking because that's just me taking their teaching and taking what they did to me, which is constantly push me out and only use me when they needed me for the hard work I did and the things I did for them. The many hard work, many areas I did, like all their social media for IG and Twitter and management. And there's a lot of positions I had in there, unpaid, should have been paid. I looked up those positions if I was getting paid. I would have been paid well if I had actually been paid for my jobs, multiple jobs I did for them, as many others who are ex-members did too. They did multiple jobs unpaid. Yeah, it's just heartbreaking for me. I don't have the words, I'm sorry, right now to really describe right now watching this, but it's heartbreaking. That is the only thing I can think of right now. Here we go. We are back.
Continue claiming your support. Me, that's pretty important. So we went to the individual sessions. We've
desperate to be noticed by Jeff Shalia, desperate to actually make money on my own independently. Desperate. That's all I'm getting from this part. Sorry to be harsh on myself in the past, but that's what this is. Desperate. They make you desperate because they play. They like the example I use with Talking with Morgan. So Pavlov's experiments, the treats with the bell. Jeff and Shalia did that, but they did it differently. It was with you get punished if you aren't making enough money, so verbally abused and threatened. If you make money, you get rewarded with attention from them. So it's still the same idea as a Pavlov bell. So this is me desperate to get that attention, which I did after this live. I absolutely got a little bit of it, not a lot, a little of it by Shalia. I don't remember the exact words, so I'm not going to say it, but I did get it. But desperate, okay. Almost done watching this, woohoo. Only have like a minute, maybe 43 seconds, something like that.
Gone through that service and the creative workshop. And then the life purpose card pool, which I've shown you guys actually in one of the live feeds. You can easily go back. And I am going to be resharing them tomorrow and early Friday morning before I head down to Asteria.
Oh, that just said, so I guess I had lost my job at this time. Well, I was about to lose the car I was using to pick up people. That was where I was going for my last day to have a car. I went to Asteria. I don't regret going there. That was the funnest rave I ever went to, of just camping out. I got to hang out with the wolf pack. They were incredible human beings, very kind. The guy I was in the tents with, he was very kind. I was not prepared at all. It's my first time camping at a festival, period. But I don't regret that experience. I don't regret doing that either. That was a wonderful experience. I'll talk about it more in depth with pictures in my memoir. And if you want me to, I can talk about festivals and stuff in general. I love music. Here we go.
See the card pool and how that happens. But in this case, it will be 3 to 6, however many the divine / God tells me to pull, I will pull, and I'll record it. Though it's fuzzy looking on my phone, I'll record.
And we were taught to do cards, so I did cards on Facebook and randomly took pictures and saw who would go towards it. But I did it through my business at the time to see who wanted something. So it was a way to bring in customers, because that's how Shalia originally brought in customers. So that's how she taught all of us to do it. So again, Jeff and Shalia right behind there. What a shocker! I can get fatty, a little fatty. Right, it's hard, so I do voices. It happens. Might not be fun voices, but I do it. Okay, gotta finish.
Record it on my phone and email you guys it. Prices will be posted below as normal. And the next service that I can think of, so we have individual creative workshop. Yeah, I think I covered all the bases. So that's more in depth of all of that. And that was very much so in depth to my own sexuality and kind of to a reveal I just got yesterday and had to mirror like crazy.
That's depressing. I had to gaslight like crazy myself based off of my sexuality. That is, yep, hard to see. So that means there was a part of me telling me this is a lie, and I had to mirror it away. So I had to make it so I couldn't feel anything anymore. That's heartbreaking. Okay, we're going back to it.
It actually explains a lot of the reoccurrence. But anyway, don't want to say too much because even so fan-wise, very intuitive. All right. So, IG, I'm going to hang up on you guys first. Love you guys. Love yourself. Peace.
And with that, I am done watching this. I was saying bye to IG, so that means I'll be saying bye to the Facebook Live on here. So the ending point on here of me watching is 25:46. Thank you guys for bearing with me with this traumatic watch. Hopefully you enjoyed it, honestly, and hopefully it educated a little bit on my mindset then versus now. I only want to educate you so you can even see signs of other people if they're talking word salad. It doesn't have to necessarily be Twin Flames Universe. It can be of another cult. It's a word salad. It's easy to pick up word salads now for me, personally at least, including against myself. Thank you so much for making it through this entire video. If you did, I appreciate it more than you would ever believe. If you love this content, please leave a like. It helps the algorithm. Leave a comment below if you have any questions for me or ideas you want to see on this channel. I'd love to hear it. Yeah, and subscribe, please. You can watch a video over here of past interviews and other stuff I do. Yeah, thanks so much for being here. Embrace your truth. Tell your story. Till next time. Peace.